Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's Wednesday, the 20th of January.
Good mornings, just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Yvette Shimbusho.
Over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports and business headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. And as usual, we begin with business, and Yvette has the latest, of course. Yvette, what's happening in the world of money?
I guess you are all familiar with Sako. Well, we're just going to look a bit into it a little bit today, and I'll let you know more about it.
Today I want to go straight to lifestyle, but I want to go first to sports and then
the update of Chan 2016. That's what we bring you here to Rise and Shine on daily basis. And now we shift to Group C. Nigeria trashed Niger 4-1, and Tunisia surrendered their 2 points, and they drew 2-2 with Guinea. So I'll tell you more in details how it happened, and the ambience in Nyamirambo Stadium. It was amazing.
The ambience, I can't wait to hear that more. And of course, lifestyle and entertainment out there.
Yes, in lifestyle, it is related actually to Chan. We have the Hobe Africa Festival going on, and it's in line with Chan. So I'll tell you more about that.
Okay. Chan, this time you know a little bit of football.
Yeah, it's bringing in a lot.
Okay. That's well, all that and more still to come. But first, of course, is the Rise and Shine story of the day. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Story of the Day, where we not only talk about the trending local stories, but also discuss issues that are affecting our day-to-day lives. And this morning, we're discussing the impact of social media on our society. By now, we're all aware that social media has had a tremendous impact on our culture, in business, and the world at large. Social media websites are some of the most popular homes on the internet. They have revolutionized the way people communicate and socialize on the web. However, aside from seeing your friend's new baby on Facebook or reading about Justin Bieber's latest brush with the law on Twitter, what are some of the real impacts, both positive and negative, that social media has had on our society? And to help me shine more light on the topic is my colleague Yvette Shimbusho. So Yvette,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you have different opinions on this topic, but this is the reason why I think, one of the big reasons why I wanted to bring down this same topic down to the Rwandan kind of relevance is because I wanted first to get your opinion in terms of the positive way you're seeing this growing, of course, revolution in Rwanda, but also at the world at large. But furthermore, I want to first hear your opinion on this same issue.
Okay, so first I'll tell you about social media in general. Yes, the cause and pros.
Yes.
But so the first thing is definitely the cons is, well, we know that social media, even though we get to express our views, sometimes it's not positive, and we get to, how do you say, like cyberbully people, or we get to say negative things about people on social media, whether it's Twitter or whether it's Facebook, or even the fact that some of the pictures that are posted on Instagram are not appropriate, So those are one of the few things. I'm not going to go because there's a long list and we don't have much time. But some of the pros is that, of course, we get to express ourselves. It's advertising for anything that is happening. If you are an upcoming artist or you have a business, you get a page, you actually create a page on Facebook and Instagram, and people get to know about you. If you, exactly, if you want to become an upcoming artist, you put your songs and your videos on YouTube and you're known all of a sudden. If there's a cause that you want to promote or you want to make sure that people understand and know about, then you put it on social media and everybody will always know, And then we also get closer, like for example, His Excellency President Paul Kagame has a Twitter handle. So we feel closer to him because of the fact that we get to follow him on Twitter and we see everything that he's tweeting about, whether it's whether he's sending birthday messages, whether he's talking about what's happening in Rwanda. You know, we feel like we're closer to him. For people that are not working with him,
and plus the hashtags
on a daily,
also that have been
and then of course the hashtags as well. So those are some of the pros of social media at large. So when we bring it back home, I mean, it has definitely helped Rwanda in so many ways. We have now, like for example, the president himself tweeting. That is something that is not seen in every other country, you know, and we do feel closer to him, and that's his social life, you know. And then also we have different, we also have different businesses promoting what they sell and what they do on social media. And so those are some of the things that I feel like Rwanda has definitely benefited from social media.
Of course, I mean, one of the things that I've seen, of course, going on, for example, all these kind of government organizations do have at least a Twitter handle where you can, you know, in case of a poor service, we've seen people tweet to Reg, we've seen people tweet to King Faisal Hospital. We've seen the hashtag Save Kajie, hashtag bring back our girls and everything. But now, I want us to bring it closer, because something that has been bothering me for quite some time, especially ever since the rise of the conflict in Burundi. How does it feel when one sends images of dead people, corpses down, and these images are going on around on different smartphones of different people? What is your own general overview of this same thing that people are doing? And because this thing has seemed to like it's growing, because I've seen places where for example, somebody has been hit by a car or you know, any other thing, and what people actually do is start, you know, taking pictures and sending them viral, you know, just trying to report out that something has happened. But in the real terms, do you think that is really necessary?
No, because in journalism we're taught that when you're taking a picture, when something has happened, like for example, back in Kenya when the Westgate took place, and there's a lady who was actually just taking her last breath, and a photographer took that picture, and even though he was showing the how it was the effect of the attack, it was not appropriate to take that picture. That is somebody's relative, that is somebody's mother, that is somebody's friend, you know, that is somebody's colleague, and that is not decent. And in journalism we're taught that it's not decent to take such kind of pictures.
All people don't have the same values that you could be having as a journalist.
But
so what could be
that's exactly, I'm starting with journalism. So already, first of all, in the law of journalism, that is not allowed at all. In ethics, media law and ethics, that's not allowed at all. So, and then bringing it just as a human being, of course it's inappropriate. I mean, just by the points that, for the reasons that I had mentioned before, for it being somebody's mother or somebody's relative in any kind of way, that is not appropriate, and nobody's supposed to be taking pictures like that. But again, we need, sometimes it does have to happen. For example, what is happening in Burundi, because some people don't really understand the magnitude in which people are suffering, the magnitude in which people, in which this issue in Burundi is very large. You know, it's a problem. And so we need to be able to show people, listen, people are dying. Yes, it's your relative and we're very sorry about that, but people are dying. So this world can actually come together and we can stop this. So at a point, to a certain extent, it is important that people understand and see what is happening.
So in your own view, at the end of the day, you are saying that you are advocating on people to share all these kind of images, but in cases of Burundi, you would say that if showing off these images really matters and will bring
will help this country, then yes. Let it be shown.
Don't you think at some point you're kind of contradicting yourself?
No,
with your
this is why in such situations, with sensitive situations, you can never have a yes or a no. It's in between. And that's why I'm saying, when it comes to certain, for example, Westgate, it was not right, yes? But for us to be able to understand the magnitude in which this was such a horrific attack, and it was really an attack on humanity also, and Garissa, and now Burundi, for people to be able to understand that this is not right, sometimes we do have to show them. Yes.
All right.
So it really depends.
Okay, then we have your opinion over there, and I think, of course, social media has its own advantages and everything. But things are keeping on changing, and different people have different opinions because social media has affected the way we do business, the way politics is done. We've seen people, especially now that the U.S. candidates are going on, they're using a lot of social media, the Twitter to build up their campaigns, and we saw that also affecting Egypt when we had the revolutions in Tunisia and Egypt. So I think social media really is a revolution that the world needs to look out for. But the most important, I think, is just you have to be very careful of what you're using.
Definitely. What you use it, how you use it, and with whom you follow, who follows you. It's with everything, too much of anything is not good. So we have to be careful.
Just in a few seconds, has there been any negative impact it has had on you as a person?
No.
No?
Actually, in fact, I really enjoy it. Of course, there are certain things I do not like seeing on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
But in general, Facebook is nice.
All right, thank
and
you
the
for
rest.
Thank you for sharing us with that.
You
There you have it. That's our own opinion, but we could have this discussion going on. Maybe they could move on to our
social media platforms
and have this discussion and debate going on. There you have it. So social media has its advantages and drawbacks as revealed to you. So it is up to each user to use social sites wisely to enhance their professional and social life, and exercise caution to ensure they do not fall victim. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Yvette Shumbusho is coming up next with business stories.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Business stories making headlines today. Umurenje Savings and Credit Cooperative SACCO have over the past years played an instrumental role in easing access to financial services, especially for the unbanked rural masses. The SACCOs encourage a saving culture besides providing members credit facilities to engage in income-generating activities or to pay school fees for their children, which will help improve their standards of living. The SACCOs are one of the initiatives by government to promote financial inclusion and equitable development across the country. Presently, there are 416 Umurenje Savings and Credit Cooperatives spread in all sectors countrywide. There are low activity on the Rwanda Stock Exchange on Monday, with only Crystal Telecom and Bralirwa counters transacting business. The bond market was quiet and is yet to register any business this year. On the main market, Bralirwa recorded the highest turnover of 226,200 Rwandan francs from the 1,300 shares traded in 2 deals. The counter closed at 174 Rwandan francs and changed compared to Friday's trading session, according to the Rwanda Exchange Daily Market Report. The Rwanda Stock Exchange Share Index and All Share Index remained unchanged to close at 146.8 and 130.61 points respectively. Kenya is among the top 4 countries in Africa with the biggest economic growth promise over the next 5 years. The survey by Agility, a global logistics provider, also shows that consumer spending by a fast-growing middle class is as important growth driver in Africa as mineral and oil resources. In the 2016, according to Agility Emerging Markets Logistics Index, Kenya is ranked behind South Africa and Nigeria, but ahead of Ghana and Angola in the list of top 5 promising states. Geoffrey White, the chief executive of Agility Africa, stated that the market is open for the first movers who can navigate risk and nurture African talent. You're now up to date with today's business headlines. Sports news coming in just a moment with Moses Bidikunzira.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sport news. I am Moses Birikunzira. Starting with the CHAN 2016 update, Tunisia and Guinea shared the spoils in Group C opener, while in the second game in Group C, Nigeria thrashed Niger 4-1 to lead the Group C. The 2011 champion Tunisia will head to draw by debutant Guinea in a very exciting Group C opener at Kigali Regional Stadium. The game also produced the tournament's impressive goal scorers in Ahmed Akaishi and Asni Kamala, who scored 2 for Tunisia and Guinea respectively. In the second game of the day, which was far more entertaining, and Nigeria secured the biggest win of the 2016 CHAN after hammering Niger 4-1 on Monday at the same venue to lead Group C ahead of Guinea and Tunisia. Striker Chisom Chikatara, who came on as a second-half substitute, netted the first hat-trick of the tournament with clinical finishes after Osas Okolo, who put Nigeria in the lead. Nigeria will return their focus on Tunisia, while Niger next faces Guinea on Friday. Now in regional football, Haruna and Yanga reconciled after apology. Rwanda national football team skipper Haruna Niyonzima has publicly apologized for his unbecoming behavior at Yanga Africans, and the apology was accepted. The development was confirmed by Yanga on their official Twitter account on Sunday. He said, and I quote, "I regret the incident. I'm sorry to the club management, fans, and the entire Yanga family. What happened won't happen again." Younger Africans had announced that Niyonzima was indefinitely suspended for repeatedly indisciplined cases of missing the club's training and official matches without permission. Finally, in Australian Open, Johanna Konta shocked Venus Williams at the Australian Open. Johanna Konta outclassed 8-seed Venus Williams 6-4, 6-2 to reach the second round of the Australian Open. The Britain's number 1, who is 24-year-old, laced to victory in 79 minutes as 7-time Grand Slam champion Venus Williams. Her left thigh, heavily strapped, struggled. Konta denied that 35-year-old Williams' age had anything to do with Americans' rebuilt display. She said, and I quote, "It's irrelevant how old she is because she's such a champion with so much experience and knowledge. Even if she's playing with one leg out of here, you've got to really take care of things on your own because she is an incredible player. I have all the respect for her and in the world." The African Nation Championship CHAN 2016 is ongoing. Next was the Group C, comprised by the 2011 champion Tunisia, Nigeria, Niger, and debutant Guinea, playing at Kigali Regional Stadium. Nigeria thrashed Niger 4-1, and Tunisia surrendered their early lead as Guinea earned a point in 2-2 draw. First, let's take a look at how the ambience was in Nyamirambo Stadium.
The 2011 champions Tunisia were held 2-2 draw by debutant Guinea in a very exciting group opener at Kigali Regional Stadium in Nyamirambo. Akaishi opened the scoring in the third minute after his effort earlier had hit the woodwork. Their celebration was short-lived as Kamara equalized just 7 minutes later. The first half ended 1-1. Like the first half, Tunisia began the second half on a high note, finding the back of the net after just 6 minutes, although Akaishi for his second goal of the day. After taking the lead, Tunisia fought back and only went forward through counter-attack. This gave Guinea a chance to para pressure and find an equalizer. The effort was paid off in 83 minutes when Kamara's cross-range volley went past Tunisia goalkeeper Lami Teliti. From then on, both teams tried to get a win, but there wasn't enough time. Nigeria secured the biggest win of the 2016 African Nations Championship CHAN finals after hammering Nigeria 4-1 on Monday at Kigali Regional Stadium. To lead the Group C ahead of Guinea, striker Chisom Chikatala, who came on as second-half substitute for the Sunday All-Stars team, netted the first hat-trick of the tournament with the clinical finishes after Osas Okolo, who put the African Giants in the lead. Zakal Adebayo gave Niger a glimmer of hope when he made it 2-1 in the second half, but the Super Eagles discovered that there are 2 goals caution seconds later. This was a 50 win for Nigeria against
Now, Moses, of course, bringing out Chan is also going. The games are getting tighter, the groups are getting hotter. So far, I think we've already gotten the biggest win of all of them.
Yeah.
Nigeria versus Niger. These are two neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know each other. They do have a lot of friendly games.
Yes.
But all the way, could you have expected 4 goals?
I couldn't expect 4 goals, but of course I expected Nigeria to beat Niger because when you look at the history of the two teams and
of course.
The capacity of the teams and the players, it's a bit different because Nigeria is a bit superior to Niger in that context. And again, we saw the game, which is a very entertaining game. A game that Nigeria placed hard. You know, they had an early substitution, but the substitute who came in was actually the difference of the game. You know, he scored a hat-trick. He's the first hat-trick in the tournament.
Of course.
And the 4-1 win is the biggest ever scoreline that has ever happened in Chan since 2009.
So that is history made yesterday.
History made yesterday. And again, on top of that, Nigeria, their striker, the striker who actually scored the hat-trick, you know, he's very good. He can pass the defender. He can be in a good scoring opportunities. And they have, their midfield is very composed, and they use the wing perfectly so they can cross in the ball in the box. So they can be hard to any defense if your defenders are not careful. Because this guy is very tall, he's very physical, and he's very clever. He can sense when to score and when he has a chance. So Nigeria really deserved the win, and they played excellently, very well.
Now, of course, Moses, one would argue, of course, if you look at the way these games are, for example, if, of course, Tunisia had to draw, who are the 2011 champions, had to draw with Guinea, of course, which was quite a surprise for people who were betting on Tunisia, right? And now we have a game of Nigeria versus Tunisia next.
Yeah.
So, in your all general view, I always ask you, who do you think has the biggest chance to top this table? Because from now, for most people, I think the focus is on Tunisia, but of course now, Guinea stands as a threat.
Definitely. Let's start first before we go to who could top the group. Let's first talk on the Tunisia and Guinea game. Basically, Tunisia, they have a very good technical game. They can pass. They are very quick. Their game is very fast. They really hold the ball in the midfield and they use their wing. They actually have a very good central midfielders and stuff. Even the striker, actually, he scored. Ahmed scored a perfectly flick, a very good flick. It's our viewers will see this. It was amazing. And again, he scored a good goal, second goal also. He can score a goal in any angle. When you look at in Europe, those strikers who can, when you have a ball.
The old days of Drogba.
The old days of Drogba, yes, if you can say that. And when you look at Suarez, the way Suarez scores, so you have a goal, you have a ball in a tight angle, and you can hit that ball and pass the keeper. So that's how this is how clever this guy is. Again, it will be a hard challenge for the Nigerian defense. But again, Nigeria is very physical. It's a bit different. But if Nigeria plays their game and Tunisia plays their game, we will see a very nice game because it will be an amazing game.
Because as we're speaking right now, Chisoma Chikatara from Nigeria, I think,
top striker.
is the top scorer right now. And of course, Nigeria is leading with the highest number of goals, which makes them at least have the biggest chance of topping this table of Group C.
Yeah, it will all be determined by the game they'll play against each other because that's, again, when you have two giants in one group, you always need to see when they meet together who wins. That's the thing. So if either way, whoever wins that game, will have a chance to, of course, to top the group because. But it's not going to be an easy game either way because when you look at the way Tunisia are very focused on that Nigeria game, according to their coach and even the team players, and Sunday Olisen want to give, he actually want to send a message to Africa that our under-23 won the African Cup of Nations and they are now they have a ticket to go to Rio de Janeiro in the Olympics. So now the local boys now need to show also the same message that we are here to win. Because if you hear everyone from Nigeria, no one is saying that we are here to play and enjoy. They said we are here to take a gold medal. Gold medal is none other than the trophy and the check of $750,000. So that's the target. That's what they want.
Now we wrap up from there, and of course there it was from our Nigeria brothers, the Ogas and all the Babatundes. We say congratulations to them, and of course the games continue as we now go to Group D, and of course Moses is there to bring you all the latest details from Chan. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Local and international news are coming up next.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Let's take a look now at news making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
Genocide widows are ready to stand up and be counted as part of Rwanda's current transformation progress through creating various development ventures that would enable them to remain socially and economically self-reliant. Members of Avega Agahozo, an umbrella organization of women genocide survivors, said this during the graduation ceremony of the Same Sky Women. The graduation of 17 women artisans held at Avega Agahozo Remea office was also attended by the First Lady, Mrs. Jeanette Kagame.
Rwandans who use community health insurance, commonly known as Mutuelle de Santé, have noted improved service delivery ever since the Rwanda Social Security Board, RSSB, took over the scheme's management 6 months ago. Several residents said that since the current financial year started in July, they have been getting better attention at health centers and hospitals and more access to the drugs they need.
And in regional news, human rights organization Amnesty International has accused Apple, Samsung and Sony, among others, of failing to do basic checks to ensure minerals used in their products are not mined by children. In a report into cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, it found out children as young as 7 working in dangerous conditions. The firm said that they had a zero-tolerance policy towards child labor.
And in international news, China's economy grew by 6.9% in 2015 compared with the 7.3% a year earlier, marking its slowest growth in a quarter of a century. China's growth, seen as a driver of the global economy, is a major concern for investors around the world. Beijing had set an official growth target of about 7% for the world's second largest economy.
Well, of course, with that economical story, I'm pretty sure that there's a reason why I put it there for you, because, you know, it was kind of related to business. Now, one thing I wanted to let people out there know is that because of China's decrease, actually there's been a threat that the next recession the world is going to experience might come from China. So it's very out that we look at for China, and, you know, because China plays a very big importance in the world economics, and if it fails out, I think there's got to be something to discuss about. Of course, the Davos meeting is coming up in Switzerland, so a lot more needs to be discussed on how we're going to maintain our world economy. So I'm pretty sure. But let's leave the business out there.
For now.
Okay. We take a look at what's happening in lifestyle and what's hot right now in our daily debate section, Hot Topics, with our very own queen, of course, of drama, Sherry Uwase. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. My name is Sherry Uwase and I'm here to give you your lifestyle update. Now, Hobe Agency is preparing the Hobe Africa Festival, which will be held from the 16th of January to the 7th of February. That means it's ongoing. And Hobe Africa Festival is in line with Chan 2016. It is meant to promote culture and entertainment all around Rwanda and will take place in Kigali, Rubavu, and Huye. I know you're just about to say, oh wait, I'm good.
Yeah,
how are you?
I could not repeat that, so I was like, hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well.
It's very cold.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
the
I don't
weather
think
is a
you're
bit-
feeling it because...
I am feeling it out
Now.
of the studio.
Alrighty, so
Yeah.
please tell us a little bit about the Hobe Africa Festival.
Now, Hobe Africa Festival, first of all, there's this company called Hobe Agency. It does different things, and now this time they prepared the Hobe Africa Festival in line with Chan, because I mean we have so many people, so many foreigners now in the country for
Yes.
so we want to present to them
Smart.
about our culture, about our kind of entertainment and all that. So Hobe Agency prepared this, and it's ongoing in Kigali. We're not so sure about the location, but it's also going to be in Rubavu and
Yes.
in Huye as well.
And Kigali.
In Kigali, obviously.
And it's
Kigali.
already ongoing because it
It's
started last
already
week.
ongoing, yes, on the 16th, so it's going to end on the 7th.
Okay,
Right.
so we're just presenting our culture in general, or is there something specific such as our dress codes, art? Is it food? Is it dance?
It is all that. Actually, let me break it down. It has to be dance. Probably we're going to be having even our local artist,
Oh, okay.
possibly. Definitely dance. It is essential for us to dance
Dance
to
and
our
drums.
maraba, and our drums.
Yes.
And also, showcasing the things that we do, these small uduseke, the baskets,
Yes.
the things that you can use in the house.
So
for
people can
decoration.
actually buy.
Yeah, people are
some
going to
of those
buy.
products.
Yeah, you can buy. It's not just,
Oh.
you can buy.
Okay.
Right.
You said it's ending when?
On the 7th.
7th.
Yes.
And for those who don't understand what Hobe means, that means hug.
Hobe,
Or is it hug?
Is it hug really? I feel like it's an
Like
embrace.
Hobe.
Yes, it's like,
Oh, embrace.
yeah, it's
okay,
like an
that's
embrace,
better.
Yes.
I've
So
always thought of it as hug. But
people
thank
usually say that because it's more symbolic with a hug.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
All
Oh my
righty.
goodness, I'm so proud of myself. How much I know Kinyarwanda better than you, obviously.
I shall
Anyway,
be learning.
yes, I'll keep teaching you.
Thank
Just
you.
stick to me. Always be next to me.
I will.
All right, do not go away. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine team, we're up and about gathering everything that you need to know about what's trending on social media. We've got it all for you right here, right now. Now, pancreatic cancer is a leading cause of cancer death, largely because there are no detection tools to diagnose the disease in its early stages, when surgical removal of the tumor is still possible. But this is all about to change thanks to Jack Andraka, a 15-year-old teenager from Crownsville, Maryland, who invented a new method capable of detecting this lethal cancer in its earliest stages. His novel, patient pending sensor, is said to be 168 times faster, 26,000 times less expensive, and 400 times more sensitive than current testing methods. Now, just to give you an idea, current popular testing methods are 60 years old and they're inaccurate. That is, it misses 30% of all pancreatic cancers, and expensive, with an equivalent of $800. On the other hand, The teenager, Jack's test would only cost 3 cents and take 5 minutes to run with 100% accuracy.
Too good to be true, I feel.
You feel it's too good to be true?
I feel like
But
it's too good to be true.
What I just explained is that usually when it comes to cancer, it will be diagnosed when it's a bit late. But what he came up with is something that can diagnose any kind of cancer, and it can remove this. You can have a surgical procedure to remove this this thing when it's a bit earlier. So it's usually they find this out when it's a bit late.
Of course.
Yeah, when it's really late. But now he's come up with a way that he can find out when it's
So
early, and it takes 5 minutes.
Is it a machine that he's come up with? Is it a certain technology, like scanning? What is it exactly?
First of all, he did a research.
Okay.
He did a research, and after coming up with this research, what he did is he's going to, if he gets, of course, the support that he needs, because he's only 15, he can only do so much. But now, after he's gotten that, he's going to get help that can now supply him with the tools that he can use for
So before
material.
you jump to other people, what is the level of education that he has reached?
I am not so sure about that. This report didn't say which.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he's 15 years old.
He's
so
15
I'm
years
just-
old.
Just smart.
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
It's very possible. Sometimes some kids just
I'm
love
definitely
to find out.
not doubting that.
Yeah.
But you might find that he's probably just maybe in his first year of uni or something like that. And I don't know.
I mean, if
It
he
is.
can go on to do that kind of research, I think he should be like around, either like first year, he's a freshman, or even in the midst of, finishing up his high school.
Right.
But surprisingly enough, of course, we've seen a lot of invasions, of course, that, have really helped us improve our healthcare. Now, of course, cancer is something that, of course, is taking away people. We saw pancreatic cancer, even in Rwanda. I think cases are coming up. And the recently one, I think, was Kagire, who had pancreatic cancer. But
Still fighting.
yeah, and, it's not that easy. But even at this kind of level, 15 years old, and you can invent something, I think, I don't know, something we can learn from that. But most important, I think this is a very great initiative. And I just hope this kind of invasions do not stay out in the books only, or just in the United States, but also are brought down to the levels and are put in practice. Maybe the IMF should be looking into that, and because at the end of the day, they are the ones to affirm what goes in the world of health and what's supposed to be done. So, great initiative.
Right.
And this guy is a genius.
He is.
Absolutely genius. At 15 years old. Impressed.
What were you doing at 15 years old?
I don't know.
You can't even remember.
Basically, I was following sports. I would go in different stadiums. That's what I was doing.
At least in your field, I think you're doing well enough.
I don't
Most
think
of
I can
us-
remember anything.
Most of us were trying to get through S3.
I don't know. 15?
15.
This young
Trying to
man,
get through school.
he inspires a lot, because in this world, creativity needs someone to meet the needs of people, what people need, and what are you solving a problem? If so, of course, people will have an attention of you. For this case, his technology and what he created is very, actually, when you look at it, it's easy, it's very accurate, and also it's less costly. So it doesn't cost a lot. And I'm pretty sure that the United States of America is one of the countries that they are quick in detecting the talent, and they are quick in also supporting the initiative. So probably there is a lot that is being done now so that the initiative can be put into practice. And we hope that even Rwanda can benefit from this great invention. And again, but they also should be very attentive to know exactly if this is really, really working. Sometimes this invention brings, they take some people's lives when they're being tested, sometimes. We have to be very sure that it is really working and tested.
Obviously.
And I think also, sorry to disturb you, but and I think another lesson we should take out of this, not only, somebody that has come up with an invention that can actually detect pancreatic cancer, but another lesson we can take out of this is a 15-year-old that is able to do it all. You're never limited. And that's something that the youth not only in America, but here in Rwanda as well, can be able to take note of, that even at 15 years old, everything is possible as long as you put your mind and hard work to it and research, you know?
And that just reminds me of this other, actually he wasn't even a teenager yet. Remember this kid who invented a clock?
Yes.
And then they thought it was
Syrian. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they thought it was a bomb.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
at school
because
they made it such a, because he was from Syria, you know. So I think at the end of the day, we should just pay attention to what people are doing all around us, not regardless of their age. They might actually be very, very effective to the society, to the community, and to the world at large.
Yes, definitely.
All right, let us wrap it up right there. We'll be right back after the break. Do not go away.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Please don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Finally, find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website, www.riseandshinerwanda.com. Well, that is all the time we have for you today. For now, you have been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Yvette Shumbusho.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.